But solving this much problem within 30 minutes may be difficult, right? Writing code and
Maybe.
even discussion itself will take 15-20 minutes for sure.
Uh-huh.
After that,
So the fair question. So in a typical interview, how long is a typical interview?
45 minutes.
Okay, so let's do the math. So your interview is 45 minutes, right?
Yes.
So what do you think happens in the first 5 minutes?
Some basic questions. They will try to make us feel comfortable like that. They will.
Hey, my name is Vivek, your name is what, where are you from, what are you doing,
Yes,
do you
some
want
basics.
water, all that stuff, right? So done, 5 minutes is over, okay? Then most companies actually follow some sort of like a behavioral interviewing
Yes.
or something of that sort.
Yes.
And if not, they'll jump straight into coding, whichever the case is, right? But they will keep about 5 minutes at the end
Yes.
for any questions for me.
Wow.
Because usually we want, most companies want to sell the role, sell the team, the position and whatnot. So that takes care of top and bottom is done. That leaves you with essentially 35 minutes of meat here,
Yes.
okay? Many companies, what they do is that they essentially fall like, tell me more about what your resume is. They'll do like a 10 to 15 minute of that,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Worst case is 15 minutes. So that leaves you with only 20 to 25 minutes
Exactly.
of coding question,
Yes.
okay? In order for me to explain this question to you, what I'm asking you to do, okay? So so it's a 20-minute exercise.
Yes.
Interviews are 20-minute exercises, that's it, okay? In a 20 minutes exercise, I'm going to assume even if I'm super efficient, that's like between 3 to 5 minutes is gone for explaining the question, okay? Another like 2 to 3 minutes is gone for you to ask any clarifying
Yes.
questions, like can I do word deletions, can I do this, can I do that, and then another 2 to 3 minutes is gone for you to think about what the solution looks like, okay? What does the basic solution looks like? That takes care of 10 minutes. So we are at this point of time at the 10-minute mark, which is half the interview over.
Yes.
We haven't even started, okay? All right. Now you're explaining what the algorithm is,
Yes.
and then I'm helping you evolve the algorithm to some extent, and then you're done. That's another 5 minutes of evolution. That leaves us with 5 minutes to write code.
Yes, sir.
Most interviews require code. Okay, so you've got 5 minutes to write code. That's it, and that is essentially an anatomy of this interview. That's all. So, yes, you're right, which means that there is no good. There's no way to actually answer all of these things in the interview, right? So the expectation is not to actually go code all of these things. So what will happen in most cases for this question would be that I would ask you to like, this is what it is. Now tell me how you will solve it. I'm expecting you to break down the problem into the 3 areas. You'll say, I'm going to go calculate the largest area first, then I'm going to just step down from area after area after area. And then once I've stepped down from area, then I'm going to do like, permutation combination to figure out what are the possible rectangles that it's possible to go to 118, 117, 116 areas. And then I'm going to construct the word ladder. And when I'm constructing the word ladder, I'm going to use permutation for the rows. And then I'm going to check the columns. And I'll use try for the columns. For me to get to that one, if I'm logically getting there pretty quickly, then I can actually start writing some meaningful code.
Yes.
But that is not the expectation. Most people will, this is an awesome interview. Most people will probably not get anywhere near that right. Most people will probably even struggle with breaking the thing down. So there, what I'll do is I'll probably give you a hint to go with it. Or I would say, you know what, forget it. All I want you to do is like, I'll tell you what the lengths, what the dimensions are, just make a word list for me. So I know that the first 2 things are right, you couldn't solve it, that's okay. Just give me the answer for how to make the word list. Then I'm expecting you to do the permutation and combinations part. So at least you need to know how to do the permutations, at least you need to know how to verify the words. The duplicates are not even in question at this point of time. That's why the book doesn't even discuss this, because that's not expected. That won't be expected. It's too deep in the question. I mean, I think we took 30-40 minutes for this question already. And this is when we're like so many of us collaborating and trying to get to the answer. And then you're also, and I know the question beforehand and all that, but that is taking so much time. So no meaningful, there's no expectation for you to generate anything reasonable in 30 minutes or 20 minutes, as the case may be. If it's a 1-hour interview, which also many people run, you've got a world of time, because you suddenly have 15 extra minutes you don't know what to do with, right? And all the 15 minutes goes into this, which means there's a good load of 20 minutes of 35 minutes of this, which is fantastic. Then I can actually get good 10 minutes of code, and then I can spend a little bit more on problem solving. So I would prefer 1 hour interviews for most of these cases.
I have been in interview, 1 hour interview and then no discussion about behavioral questions.
Yeah.
So just 5-minute introduction and then.
Yeah, 5-minute introduction, then jump on, right? That's
jump on
enough.
the question,
Yeah. Because then they actually, many companies do delegate that to the HR or the hiring manager or someone else actually deals with, I just want to make sure that you're reasonably okay for the team. The team fit, culture fit is somebody else takes care of. My goal is to only assess your technical skills. In which case, it's a lot more reasonable to expect a more robust question.
Yeah, in 45 minutes, sometimes even though before I understood my approach is wrong, he is expecting different. Before I understand that point itself, sometimes I feel like end of the interview.
Then you can do totally. Then next interview time, right?
Yeah.